Anywhere you go, you belong. Anywhere you say, anywhere.
Okay, what you saying, people? Welcome back to the stream. Hope you are all doing good. Welcome back. Hope everyone's good. Like always, any pairs, any charts, any trades you're looking at, feel free to drop it down in the chat. We'll discuss about it. If you haven't joined my Telegram, feel free to go and do that. Link in the description. I post my updates, trades, setups, watch list, all the good stuff's there. So make sure you go check it out if you want to. And if you are looking for a broker, I do have my affiliate link to IC Markets. So go and check that out if you are looking for a broker, and feel free to use the link if you want to as well. But yeah, guys, welcome to the charts. Hope everyone is doing good. Morning watch as always. And good morning, Anis, and everyone. Hope you did well on the CPI. Yeah, the CPI was interesting, to be fair. I mean, a lot of moves that we were calling early on the stream kind of played out. But yeah, I wasn't actually in a trade to take advantage of it. But yeah, did see a lot of moves that we were expecting. Popcorn, what you saying? Welcome to the stream. Hope you are good. I'm doing well. AK, how are you? 5 a.m. but on top. Nice. Is that California? CA, California? If so, wicked. Good to see. 5 a.m. That is some great stuff. Anus, welcome to the stream as always. Togo Vex, hey, welcome back, my man. Hope everyone is well. Hope you're doing good too. Allah, as always, morning. Hope everyone's good. Green Audits 259. Crash at 5 on pound yen. Crash at 5 on pound yen. What? As in 5 later today? As in you're talking about the interest rate? Yeah, I'm in my Christmas sweater. Yeah, before I get into the season, because Christmas is only 11 days away, so thought I'd get the little season, get the Christmas jumper on, see what's happening. So yeah, with the market we saw some dollar weakness. Again, we were expecting some dollar weakness. I was saying yesterday that still looking for 103 down there, but I do want to see price move to the upside first. And again, simply it's just for looking to trade the market essentially, because I don't really want to be taking advantage of price getting into entries around this area, which corresponds to Euro USD around there. So I wasn't really looking to get involved with that, but we were expecting the market to roll over. We've got this monthly zone, excuse me, we've got this monthly zone just underneath us here at kind of 103,500, which we're looking for price to come into. So we're favoring dollar to roll over, but yeah, wanting to see that move to the upside first. I was hoping maybe the news could take us up, and then we can maybe consolidate, and then maybe Fed interest rate takes us back down. But it looks like the market's really rolled over anyway. So yeah, it saw dollar weakness. Euro USD obviously ran to the upside. All the dollar pairs ran to the upside. AUD USD, pound USD, USD CAD fell. All those pairs show that dollar was the weakest. JPY pairs, they rolled over as well. Again, we were looking at the JPY pairs a lot. USD JPY dumped to the downside. We were talking about price trading at its resistance on the stream. All these wick rejections, we said, most likely the market is going to fall. But, getting in before the news, you run the risk of price, wicking you out before going in direction or just being completely wrong as well. So, it was a risk to take the trade, but, sometimes it just plays out, as expected. But yeah, nice move to the downside. CAD yen, that one fell as well. Nice move to the downside, obviously coming into the high of the resistance. Very, very similar setup to USD JPY as well. A lot of wick rejections and nice push to the downside. So yeah, JPY was quite strong, and USD was quite weak. So obviously USD JPY had quite a strong reaction to that. And obviously gold did rise as well. Where is gold? Did I delete gold from my list? Might have done. XAUUSD. Yeah, did delete gold from my list. Okay, so yeah, gold rose as well to the upside. Of course, looking for entries further down, but yeah, gold just flew to the upside. Looks like we just had a break and retest from this high, to be fair, but the fact that we didn't create a new high, I wasn't really willing to buy up there. I want the price to come a little bit deeper to the downside, test these lows before moving to the upside. But yeah, it was just far too bullish and rose to the upside. Now it's struggling to break those highs. So yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what happens next. Do we still see that dollar weakness, or is it time for dollar to reverse and see some strength? That is definitely a possibility, especially where price is trading for the DXY. We could definitely see a bounce from there. Again, we've seen the market kind of roll over. Is it time for a bit of a spike to the upside? A lot of people be a little bit excited selling around here. Could trap them with a big move to the upside. That is definitely a case scenario. Of course, we'll go through the pairs and try and work out a bias for that. Is anyone else trading USDJPY? No, not trading USDJPY at the moment. Maybe someone else is on the stream. What are you looking at now for Toka? You're looking at sales, buys. For me, it looks like we've got a good chance of price making it back down to those lows at 134. Again, I'm still looking at this area here on the daily chart, which is 132. So still onwards to that level for me. Looks like the market's still printing lower highs, so I'm expecting some new lows past this point. And if we can successfully break through 134, good chance of being attracted towards 132. Could see a bounce from there as well. So yeah, USDJPY for me is clear sells. Maybe not the best time to sell it right now. Obviously would have been yesterday, but if you could see maybe a retest of this structure, price comes slightly higher up around 136, that would be a little bit better there. But yeah, in terms of bias for me, it's definitely a bearish market. So I'm looking at 134, 132 for USDJPY. Let me know if you're looking for something similar. Hey Rohan, welcome to the stream. Are you a full-time trader? Yes, I am a full-time trader. Yeah, I trade USDJPY. Nice. Okay, what are you doing with USDJPY? Got any plans to try something like real estate, which a lot of traders look into? Yes, we'll be looking at real estate, to be fair. That is definitely a project that I want to get a lot into, because with trading, your income will always fluctuate. You'll always have good months. No matter how good a trader you are, you always will have good months, bad months, mediocre months. So I do want to make sure that I can get a bit more of a stable income as well. Something like a job will give you, you know, a stable income as long as you do the work, you will get paid a certain income every single month. And obviously getting properties to rent out, you always get that kind of rent income as well. So I definitely want to look into get into properties as well. So yeah, that is definitely a plan that I want to get into. Elmi, welcome to the stream. Hope you are good. Hi. I caught that whole drop in USJPY. It was a lovely day. Lovely day. That's nice, son. Yeah, I mean, it was a very, very nice sell, to be fair. I didn't look to take it because the news was coming out shortly after. But we were talking about it on stream. I think some people were in it actually on stream yesterday. I'm not sure, can't remember who, but I remember a lot of people were asking about USJPY, in fact, actually. And a couple people were saying they were already in trades for that one. I mean, it was a very, very clear sell, but yeah, the news was coming out, so I didn't decide to enter. Do you trade US30? No, I do not trade US30. I can look at it for you, green audit, but I do not trade US30. Pound USD, of course, popcorn will take a look, no problem. I entered yesterday and caught the majority of the drop, just trading a small sell this morning around 133.750. Okay, nice. So yeah, I mean, with yesterday's drop, very, very strong impulsive candle, you know, breaking through structure to the downside there. It's looking pretty good. Again, it's a good stall. It's a good stealth stall. It's just, you know, will price pull back as well. Would you see 133.750, 133.750? So right at these highs there. So that's a pretty good entry, to be fair. Very, very good entry. I mean, I would suspect your target is probably down around the 133.982 mark, around that prior low. So we're actually, excuse me, we're actually not too far away from that. But yeah, in terms of, for me, myself, if you get a pullback slightly higher up, I'll definitely be interested to enter some shorts. But yeah, in terms of direction, yeah, the sells are pretty clear here for USJPY. I would not be looking at buys at all. So yeah, I do think there's more downside. I'm still looking at 132 as well. If I do get into a trade, I'll probably just target that level there. But I do suspect from a daily perspective, daily time frame, we could probably make our way back down to 132 to be honest. So I do think there's a lot more mileage left in USJPY. Just I do want to see a bit more retracement before stepping in. But yeah, I've been looking at some of the other JPY pairs. They all look like they could have a bit more to the downside. It kind of depends really, because with the interest rates coming out later today, you know, anything could really happen. You know, all this bearish momentum we've seen today, I mean, from yesterday, could completely reverse, and the market could be flying to the upside in the opposite direction by the end of the day. So yeah, it can change drastically. But obviously for me as a technical trader, you know, I'm focusing on technicals, and a market like this, which is creating consistent lower lows and lower highs, I'm only looking to sell. Doesn't really matter what the fundamentals do. If the fundamentals break structure completely, then obviously I'll look at change my bias. But as long as we don't take out, you know, say for example this high here, you know, for me that's still a pretty clear sell. Or even this high here as well, still a pretty clear sell. So even if we do see a big kind of push to the upside, I would expect us to return back down again. But yeah, the news can definitely change a lot. Certainly structure breaks. Okay, so yeah, pound USD, I will take a look. I'll go over US30 as well. Green audit. Terry, welcome to the stream. Hope you're good. Target of USJPY set at 130.395. That's my view with FOMC. Okay, so that's what we expected to go with FOMC. Where is 130.395? 130.395. Okay, so all the way down here. Okay, so you're talking about this wick here, I would assume. Yeah, it makes sense. Makes sense, obviously, because I'm looking for a push to this level, and you're talking about the wick just underneath it. So it does make sense. Obviously, this level here will have something to say about that, whether it can continue to take out the low, because that is a very, very important low, because it gave us this huge drive to the upside and those new highs. So it would be quite sensational if you go and take out those lows straight away, because it could mean that we could be for a big tumble for USJPY, because there's a lot of like empty price action here. You know, we could look at going, you know, reversing. because we've had all of this kind of consolidation, big kind of overstretched move. Is the market going to now start to fill that gap potentially? That is definitely on the cards with this one because it's just so overextended to the upside. But 132 looks very, very good. Potentially could take out that wick as well at 130, 300. But yeah, everything is looking pretty good for shorts. Obviously, it depends what FOMC does. It could accelerate price and just see a huge drop into that level. It could change things up again. It could give us a big spike to the upside, and then maybe we start to roll over back down again. So that could definitely be a case. But as long as structure is still bearish, I'll be looking at 132 for USD/JPY. Pound USD broke to the upside. Again, this one, we're kind of just squeezing with this trend line here yesterday. I was telling you guys I favor the market to move up, but I do want it to see a move to the downside first. I was talking about this kind of area here with these higher lows, so 1, 2, 3, 4. Looking for price to come back and retest this area here, and then I'll look for some buys around that 1.207 mark. Unfortunately, the market just broke to the upside there. It was kind of just squeezing this kind of area. So it was kind of 50-50. Could have broke to the upside, could have broke back down. But it looks like it has broke to the upside. And now it's holding above that support there. So pound USD for me is still looking pretty bullish. Again, I'm looking at price potentially, coming to this kind of area of resistance up here, which is around 1.26. So we could actually see a push into that level, which does kind of play into the dollar weakness story narrative. Because at the moment I'm looking at all these dollar pairs, AUD/USD, pound USD, Euro USD, NZD USD, DXY even, and dollar weakness is still very much the common theme. It could change, but it's still very much the common theme, and that's the technicals I'll be following until that changes. So pound USD for me, 1.26 looks pretty likely as well. Again, a nice pullback on that will be good. Even a retest of that structure there. Got the kind of the trend line kind of coming up as well. So that does look good there for pound USD around 1.23290. But yeah, pound USD for me is still bullish. It is trading a key level where we could roll over and see a bigger move. But right now the market is still pretty bullish there for pound USD. So if I was looking to trade this market, because now it's broken through, I'm not sure if I'll get a trade because I was looking for a push down here, but highly doubt that will happen. So if I was looking to trade this market, I would only be looking to buy. In targets at 1.26 for pound USD. Still very, very bullish for me. US 30, yeah, this one big spike to the upside. Very, very big spike to the upside. Taking out those highs, came back down though. Was a little bit short-lived. You can see there on the daily. Still kind of struggling at these highs here. Price is trying to break through, but it's having such a hard time right now. Again, it looks like it's running out a bit of steam. But right now, the market is still kind of creating higher lows, but it's starting to show evidence that the bears are stepping in. Because you can see every time we push, we kind of correct quite sharply. Big push, correction, big push, correction, big push, correction. So every time we do stab and make a higher high, the market comes to the downside shortly after. So we could see something like this, another spike, and then maybe a bigger reversal. That could definitely be the case coming back into this area here, because this is where we fell off and had a big rally. So this is a pretty key support at 33,866. So we could see a bit of a bounce there. I would suggest just probably target highs just to keep it simple. So around 34,600, this is where the market's failing to break through. So a little buy from there today will look good, but I wouldn't push it too far because now the market's giving us a lot of evidence that it's failing to push higher, and it could be looking to roll over. And the fact that it's also failing to break through this daily resistance here as well is obviously not a good sign for the market bulls. So yeah, as at the moment, US 30 is still bullish, so I'd only still be looking to buy this one. 33,800 looks like a good level, and 34,600 looks like a good target to have, and we potentially could roll over from there as well. So maybe there might be some nice sells, but I'll just be focused on the buys for now until some key structure breaks. If we can break through this low, that will be the sign of the reversal for me. So yeah, I hope that made sense there on US 30. Hi, what's happening on NZJPY? Okay, we'll take a look. Nambale, Martin Lawrence. What's your thought on trading news for beginners? I'll just say don't trade it in general, really, for beginners, because there's not much to it, really. I mean, with news, obviously for me, he doesn't really focus on fundamentals, so I'm not really looking at, okay, this data's come out, this has done this. I know a lot of people who do that, but I'm definitely not one of them at the moment. Maybe in the future I might start incorporating that more into my trading. But if you're a beginner, you just want to be learning, how to trade. You just want to learn how to apply a strategy to the market. That's your goal right now as a beginner. So news will definitely skew that, because sometimes you get wicked out and the market will go in your direction. Sometimes you get a really good reaction, price will fly into direction. Sometimes you get it completely wrong, market will go against you. If you're trading lower time frames as well, it's probably not the best to do that either, especially because you can get slippage, and it's probably not the best because you just get taken out very, very quickly. So I'll suggest just avoid news in general. Avoid news in general when you're starting out, because you don't need to really worry about that. You can start maybe adding news to your game later on, but your main goal is just to trade, sustainably, and trying to worry about what the news is going to do, I think, is just adding another element to your trading that you don't really need to learn at the moment. Because you can trade, just trade around news. Obviously, it's a little bit annoying because you have to tiptoe around a little bit, but your main kind of goal is just to apply a strategy to the market. Then you can start to add, trading the news into your element if you want to. But yeah, I would just say just stay away. Any kind of big impact, red impact you see on like my FX book or Forex Factory or whatnot, I would just say avoid trading those times. And obviously this is not the best week for that. You've got interest rates all over the shop. Pound USD bullish. The first target I see is 1.25. The USD CPI is low, and the GBP CPI, that indicates the upside trend is still strong. Yeah, I mean the technicals back that as well. For me, 1.26 looks like a good place the market could be attracted towards before you might see some big bear step back in. As you can see here, this is where the market was kind of consolidating, and then we kind of ran to the downside with that momentum there. And then this is where we stalled a little bit. So naturally, I would expect the price to come back and retest that 1.26 area. And obviously technicals, daily, weekly, 4H is all showing higher highs and higher lows. So I would only be looking to buy this. Even if we do come back down on a spike, I would suggest the higher lows about to form, and we're probably going to climb higher again. As long as we don't do anything crazy. So yeah, for me, pound USD is still pretty clear buy. I'd say if you're not already in the trade, you do kind of want it to pull back again, because you don't really want to be buying those prices up there. But yeah, still pretty clear buy for me, pound USD. Euro yen and pound yen, sure thing, Jazz Pro will take a look. Euro CAD will take a look too, Elmi, no problem. What's the orange dot for on your chart? The orange dot, oh, you're talking about these guys? Yeah, they just mark swing points. They just mark swing points in the market. So if I've got a dot there, it just means a higher low is formed. A dot here is a lower high. Higher high. Got my highs and lows mixed up. So yeah, that's a higher low, higher high, higher low, higher low, higher high, higher low. So it just marks up structural swing points, of the key swings really. That's what I use it for. Just to mark my higher highs and lower highs and all that lovely stuff. So yeah, hopefully that made sense. But yeah, pound yen, euro yen, we'll take a look. So euro yen, yeah, did something happen to the JPY pairs? Because as soon as I was coming onto the stream, JPY pairs were just moving like very, very excited. Like a big spike to the downside very, very quickly. Yeah, like the JPY pairs are looking pretty bearish, sorry. Like, is there news for JPY or? Because I didn't think I saw any news. Very, very odd. Anyway, if anyone knows anything about that, let me know. But yeah, Euro JPY for me. The market has been interesting for this one because I was selling this one last week. So I was selling it from here. I got at that candle there. and then it came into my target, took 20%, it bounced, came back into my target, and then it started rejecting again. So I just exited the trade because at that point the support level was holding pretty firm. It ran to the upside, but now it's come straight back down again. So for me, it looks like Euro JPY is looking like it wants to roll over, because we've had this kind of bearish kind of channel almost, where the market's been slowly rolling over. And I said this channel here is either doing one or two things. It's either giving us a potential reversal for Euro yen, and we could actually be looking to roll over, or it's just like a very complex bull flag of impulse, correction, impulse. And when we started getting the price action here to the upside, I was like, okay, potentially we're going to get the impulse now. The market's going to start to break out the channel and continue. However, obviously with the news yesterday, price kind of stalled and then a big sharp move to the downside. So it looks like the bulls are just failing to break through, break the high of the channel, which tells me we're more likely to roll over and see a downside move than suddenly turn bullish again. Obviously, that is definitely a possibility for us to do that. But in terms of probability, we're most likely going to roll over and come and take out those lows, then suddenly just try and find momentum again. Maybe the interest rates might do something. But in terms of a technical aspect, everything for here is still pointing to the downside for Euro yen. So some sales would look pretty good for this one. The only kind of question mark I have for Euro yen is this support here, because we've bounced so many times at this support now, and we've had a nice rally. Now price coming back down again. Do we start consolidating between the trend line and that, and potentially have a breakout like that, or do we just snap straight through the level? If that would be very nice indeed, a retest of that, and you can got some nice clear sells into that prior low. If I do measure that, you are looking at around 240 pips. So pretty decent move to the downside. Obviously, Euro yen is kind of stacked with pips. But for me, Euro yen is a clear sell at the moment. Again, interest rates coming out later, it could change, but just focusing on technicals here, I'll be expecting us to head lower. Clear support as a target around 141. So yeah, Euro yen sales for me look pretty clear. You could take a slightly more risky entry, which is slightly higher up. So, looking to trade, kind of in around this area here, trying to get a sell up there. Obviously, you do have this obstacle in the way, which could reject price against you. But then again, you can look to manage your trade and maybe take some partials, stop loss to break even. So even if it does come up, it's not the end of the world. If it does break through the support, then the probability of us getting to these lows, increase a lot. So a break of 143.298 should give us pretty clear sales back down again, and we'll just see another bearish swing like we've been seeing for the past few days, few weeks now, actually a couple of months. Actually, nice bearish swings. Could be seeing just the next leg to the downside. So Euro yen, I do favor more downside. Pound yen's a little bit more complicated. It is respecting the range here. It's coming back to the 50, I believe. Let me just draw up the levels again, because I've had the 50 trading in and around that kind of region. Get the old fib out for the reference. Yeah, so we're trading in around that kind of 50% mark. And again, I don't really like trading in that kind of 50% mark region, just because, just thinking in terms of probability, up here is where you want to be selling, down here is where you want to be buying. Here, if anything, is where you're going to be taking profit and managing the trade, not looking to buy and sell, because this is where the most kind of fluctuation will happen around here. This is where the kind of least fluctuation will happen. It's either we're going to hold the level or break out. So it's pretty much straightforward trading at the lows and the highs of a range. But trading the 50 is a little bit more complicated and a bit more random. So I don't really like entering trades in and around here. If we can smash through this, then obviously we'll probably head back down to the low of the range. But yeah, for you pound yen, I'm still kind of standing by and waiting for the breakout for this one, because if we clear those highs, like I was saying yesterday, I'm looking for a push back up here, back to 172. A nice little break and retest of that would have been perfect. Obviously, that never happened. If we do get a push back down here, I'll be looking for the break and retest of 165.500, and from that, I'll be looking at a push all the way back down into these lows here, which is 160. So I do have some really healthy ranges for pound yen, so I'm not really too bothered which way we break out towards, because there I'm looking at about 500 pips to the downside. Obviously, I'm not trying to take advantage of all 500 pips, but that's the kind of range we're working with. And here as well, we're looking at about 300-ish pips to the upside. So when the breakout comes, it should be looking pretty good. It should be looking pretty good for pound yen. So I'm just focused basically on 169 and 165, 460. If you're looking at the lower time frames, there is a zone here which corresponds to 50% of the range. If we break through this, which looks like we're trying to do right now with this kind of big bearish candle, then I'll suspect us to head back down to the low of the range. I suppose a break and retest of 167, 200 could look okay, but like I said before, it's not really tickling my fancy. I just don't like trading in the middle of the range there. But on the lower time frames, it probably makes a little bit more sense. So if you can clear those lows there, we do have 176 pip range, which does look okay. Back down to 165, 500. Some sells down into that level do look good. And yeah, maybe you can get a nice push to that low of the range. But like I said, I'm still waiting those breakouts because that's when I have the most clarity of where price could go. And obviously these lows here will be kind of sort of mini targets to manage partials and manage the trade. But the overall goal will be down there, and the overall goal will be up to those highs. So yeah, Euro Yen for me has a lot more, just a lot more clarity there. 78 watching, only 3 likes. Hey, come on guys, let's get some likes up. If you're enjoying the content, of course, which I assume you are. But yeah, thanks to the 3 people who've liked there. Can you check USJPY? Of course, we'll take a look. Appreciate that, man. Appreciate it. AJPY shorts, we'll take a look at AJPY. We're looking at quite a lot yesterday. Chris, hello. EuroCAD, yes, I completely forgot about EuroCAD. I'll get into that in a second. Emmanuel FX, I'm late today. Can you look at AJPY for us? No problem. When inflation decreases, interest rate increases, inflation decreases. If inflation decreases, yeah, people, they would increase interest rates to decrease inflation. So it's the other way around, but yeah. Pound yen kind of go through popcorn. Yeah, I just did that right there. So pound yen looking at probably a push to the downside, but I'm just waiting for the breakouts really. I'm not the biggest kind of range trader. I like my breakouts. I like my trending market. And if we can get below 165, 500 and 169, that will be very, very nice indeed. But yeah, I'll take a look at EuroCAD, USJPY and AJPY. And then if anyone has any other pairs they want to take a look at or any questions, just drop it down in the chat. But Euro Canadian, let's get onto it. So EuroCAD, wow, this one just doesn't know how to stop pushing to the upside, does it? It's still pushing. Is CAD just still overall weak then? CAD CHF still kind of falling. There's the CAD, still pushing up. Pound CAD pushing up. USD CAD down a little bit sideways. But yeah, it looks like CAD is just still kind of very, very weak still. And Euro is just stronger than CAD, hence why EuroCAD's moving up. But yeah, it's been moving to the upside. Like I've said for this one, the sells do look good as price keeps pushing up. Market just more and more overextended, testing stronger levels. So the sell when it comes will be very, very nice. But we have to be patient. We have to be patient. Because if you're not, then you're just going to give away money because you're just looking to sell. The market keeps pushing up, sell, keeps pushing up, sell. I've been in that boat many, many times where you're trying to look for the reversal, but the reversal just doesn't seem to be coming. So the best thing to do here is just wait for the market to show stronger signs of reversal. There's a pretty key level here around 1.46 we could be headed towards before we see a reversal. Who knows? Right now the structure is still very firmly to the upside. You can see the higher highs and higher lows are very persistent. So the best thing to do here is probably scale down to the lower time frames and look for those kind of mini pullbacks. Nice breaking we tested that level there would have been very, very nice yesterday. We pull back into this support here this morning, right? 8 a.m. London session, respect to that low, and that was pushing to the upside. Looks like we're probably going to see some new highs past this point pretty soon. So again, kind of just buying into those kind of smaller pullbacks. Again, not really my forte. I like those bigger pullbacks, but that's the only way you're going to find any long trades here for EuroCAD. So maybe if we can take those highs out, a deeper pullback, something like that, to get the higher low and a push into 1.46. If you're looking for sells, a lot needs to happen. I would say wait for some structures to start breaking first. These lows here, 1.434, 1.428. You want to be seeing these lows start to break first before looking for some sells, because if not, the market's just going to keep ripping to the upside. So there's nothing to do yet from a selling perspective. Of course, we're coming back into the resistance. I understand a few people are looking to sell from here, but there's just not a lot of confidence there. You know, we could bounce, we may not bounce. If it does bounce, it may not be for long. So there's not really a lot of confidence there. If you start breaking through some of these lows, start finding resistance, then yeah, that sell has a lot more to it than just looking at that high. So yeah, for me, EuroCAD still pretty bullish. 1.46 is a pretty obvious daily level we could see some rejection from. So that could be where price is ever so slowly heading towards. But yeah, unless you're on the lower time frames, like 30, 50 minute, best thing to do is stay patient. Because yeah, you're probably not going to see much in terms of sales, that is. If you guys are enjoying the video, please be sure to leave a like, though. It does really help out the channel. And if you haven't done already, subscribe, join the fam. Okay, so EuroCAD, I'll go over ADJPY, and there's one other pair, or did I do it? UCJPY, okay, I'll go ADJPY, UCJPY. Johnny Rope, hey, welcome to the stream. Hope you are doing good. It has been a minute. Welcome back, my man. Farhad, EuroJPY looks good. I agree. I agreed wholeheartedly with that one for some sells. There is a bit of a level that price might look to stall at around 143.323, but in terms of probability, this low down here is looking very, very likely to get tested. We'll see what the news has to say about that, but in terms of technicals, everything is pointing down for Euro-Yen. But yeah, AJPY and USJPY. So AJPY for this one, we're talking about this one quite a lot yesterday. Again, I didn't trade this one yesterday either because of the same reason that we're about to have some news. And I wanted to give price some time to breathe for AJPY, USJPY, CAD-JPY. All the JPY pairs were kind of in sync yesterday, really, even pound yen as well. But yeah, I mean, it's doing exactly what we're looking for this one. You can see price is rejecting these levels here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, got a lot of consecutive lower highs. Looks like the market's rejecting that. Naturally, would expect price to come back down into these lows here. We do have a bit of a counter trend line, which if you're looking for to be a bit picky, if the market could break through that, that could be the catalyst for the down move for AJPY. But in terms of direction, I'll definitely be favoring shorts for this one. Consecutive lower highs here. And again, we want to be trading with structure rather than against it. Retesting a key level here, price support. Now flipped as resistance at 93. If it breaks through this counter trend line, I would suspect price to roll over. Thank you for subscribing. I would suspect price is just going to be on its next bearish leg into these lows here. So yeah, AJPY for me is slowly, ever so slowly turning bearish. It hasn't technically gone bearish on the daily chart, based on my rules, because it hasn't taken out this wick low here yet. So from my daily kind of analysis, how I analyze the chart from my strategy, price hasn't taken out the low, so it's still technically bullish on the daily, but we're definitely getting a lot of confirmations and indication that the market could be time to roll over. You can see we've got a key level going through the market here, a lot of rejection, fake out 1, fake out 2, rejection there as well. So I do think this wick low is more than likely to be taken out soon, and then we can probably get a bigger reversal. And this here is probably going to be the first major lower high. Then maybe we're going to come back down to these lows here eventually. So I do think AJPY is working its way back for a bigger reversal. So again, even if we don't get entries up there, I don't think it's the end of the world. I think there's going to be a lot more entries to be coming for this one. So AJPY shorts do look pretty good. And same with most of the other JPY pairs. Euro-Yen looks very, very good. A break of that support level, I think we'll be in for some nice sells. GJ, if that can break out, nice sells. USJPY, a little pullback onto that one into 134, nice sells as well. I have to take a look at the other JPY pairs to see what's going on with them. But they still look pretty bearish. How do you see gold? Okay, I'll take a look at gold, no problem, because it has been moving mad today. I mean, I haven't really been looking at gold since yesterday after it took out the highs, but I'll still say I'm bullish on gold, but I'll go take a look now. Euro USD, we'll take a look. Gold, Johnny, no problem. USD CAD, yeah, USD CAD, I'm actually looking at some buys today, which actually goes against my bias for DXY. But I'm trying to kind of just zone in on each pair that I'm trading and kind of forget what other pairs are doing in correlation, because in the past that has distracted me before and maybe not take some trades which have become very profitable, just because I'm thinking, okay, because Euro USD is doing this and maybe Pound USD won't do this. You know, sometimes, yeah, it can benefit you, but for me, I think it's just much better just to focus on the pair you're trading and just trade that. If it fails, it fails. As long as you follow the plan and you're taking good trades, you know, you will come up top at the end. So USD CAD I'll get into in a second, but first let me take a look at gold. Okay, so gold. Yeah, gold. So yeah, this is what I was looking at yesterday. I was looking at the market coming a little bit further to the downside and then looking at buys back up again. But I failed to notice this level here. Well, I did notice it, but I was expecting price to come a little bit further down because it failed to make those highs. So I was looking for a little bit more of a down move, kind of like a bull flag situation, impulse, and then correction 1, correction 2, and then looking for the move to the upside to take out these lows, test that level, and then get the bigger move up. But price just respected that low there, what the previous high turned support and went bullish. So did miss out on that gold buy. Obviously I can see the reason why I did, but would be nice to be in the trade. But yeah, gold right now is rejecting that high quite a lot. It's rejecting that high quite a lot. I'm seeing a lot of wicks here. It's not looking the cleanest price action for gold. Again, I'm still bullish on this one, so I wouldn't really look for any sells. Not that it won't go down, it's just that structure is still bullish here. So that's kind of my my guide. So I'm only looking for buys at this point. But I do think with this trajectory, I'm probably going to see some downside. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 wicks there to the upside. This is a big sign that the market's failing to do so. We saw these wicks in action a lot yesterday with a lot of the JPY pairs. You know, for CAD yen, you can see how many wicks we've got at this zone here. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 wicks into that zone. JPY. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You know, borderline 6 wicks into that zone. So pound yen as well. You know, 1, 2, 3, 4 clear wicks. So we got a lot of wicks into the zones. And that was a good sign for us that the market was going to probably reverse. Obviously, the news helped it out, but from a technical standpoint, it really looked bearish, and that's what kind of will get him for gold again. So I would expect to see some downside here for gold, but it's just not a trade that I would want to take because it goes against the structure that I'm trying to trade. So short-term sells for gold, okay. You know, I would say watch out for areas like so, because this is where we could find support again to rally. You know, definitely areas down here as well, but yeah, maybe some short-term sells, but for me, I'm still focused on the buys, and I don't really see a good buy setup right now. Maybe coming back into this kind of area here, there might be a nice buy up there. Bit of a trend line, sort of, not very good trend line, but it sort of makes sense coming to that area, so I'll probably be interested in something like that a little bit deeper for gold, around 1788. Because now we've got the new highs. This is kind of like a new higher low, so I would be interested in buys around here. But yeah, maybe some short-term sells, but not really my type of trade. But hopefully that made sense. Okay, so I'll take a look at USD CAD. USD CAD layer. Can you look at AUD/USD? Of course, no problem. Are you in any trades? No, I'm not in any trades at the moment, Terry. Do you trade news? No, I don't really trade news. I mean, if I'm in a trade, you know, a few hours before the news or a day before the news, then I'll sit through the news happily. Thank you so Mathis. Is that Mathis or Mathis? Anyway, much appreciated for subscribing, my friend. So yeah, I do trade the news, but I don't want to enter, you know, just before the news happens, because that's when I'm most likely going to get wicked out and faked out. You know, if I can enter a few hours before, or preferably a day before the news, so like interest today, if I can enter a trade yesterday or even sometime around now, you know, I'd be happy to enter the trade now and then hold the trade through the news, because I hold trades like 2-3 days anyway, so it's hard for me to miss out the news completely. Because, you know, if I'm holding trades for multiple days, you know, I will come across some news event at some point If you're day trading only in for a few hours, then yeah, you can pick and choose your moments a little bit more. But as an intra-week trader, swing trader, it's more difficult. So yeah, I do trade the news in terms of I will hold the news, but I don't actively go and seek out to trade the news. Because that's where you're just more prone to get wicked out. You know, price could still go in your direction, but could wick you out first. So, you know, want to kind of avoid those scenarios. But yeah, USD CAD, I'm looking at buys for this one. I was actually looking for this one to come a little bit deeper to the downside. I did actually post a trading view setup on this one. So if you want to check me out on trading view, feel free to go and do so. But yeah, USD CAD. So I was looking at some longs coming into the week with this one, looking at buys down here, 1.35, 191. So we got some nice confluence with the trend line and that obviously that key zone there. So I was looking for the buys just back into that same kind of resistance because we're kind of just squeezing in this kind of wedge pattern here. And I don't really like trading wedge patterns, but because there's enough room to take advantage of a good trade here before looking for the breakout, you know, I'm happy looking for that trade, but I'll be out fairly quickly because I'm not too sure which direction the market's going to go in. You know, clearly this is where the buyers are favoring, this is where the sellers are favoring, but in terms of where we're going to break out and where we're going to see the next trend, you know, I kind of have no idea really for USD CAD at the moment. So looking at some buys here, you can see it came pretty close to that level. I was looking for this morning for price to come a little bit deeper and test that level. But unfortunately, if I go back onto the chart, you can see you kind of just flip bullish a little bit here. But it doesn't mean that price can't still come a little bit deeper. Because I'm still looking at price come a little bit deeper and to test that level. And of course, we've got the higher lows there. If we join them up quite nicely, higher low 1, higher low 2, higher low 3. Looking for us to come and, you know, kind of test this structure here as well. That prior resistance there, that last down move for that big move to the upside. A little spike into 1.35 would have been very nice indeed, and I would suspect us to rally, you know, back into that resistance and then be done with the trade, really for USD CAD. Because like I said, we've got this wedge pattern. I'm not too sure, you know, which direction we're going to break out in. Are we going to fly or are we going to tumble? I don't know. And when I don't have the clear kind of direction for a pair, for a market, I don't like to trade it. Unless for this scenario, I do have a good amount of, you know, probability around this area where I can bank, you know, a good 100, maybe 100 pips to the upside, 150, 100 pips, and then be done with the trade. But yeah, USD CAD, I'm looking for some short-term buys. Short-term buys for this one at this zone. It's not quite testing it yet. It could still roll over and come back down, which is kind of what I'm looking for it to do. So we can spike a little bit lower, maybe take out these lows and then get the push. That will be very nice indeed. But yeah, USD CAD favoring some short-term buys for this one. Favoring some short-term buys. But like I said, I actually do suspect more dollar weakness because dollar's still pretty weak here. So it goes against what I'm, you know, analyzing for the dollar. But I'm just trying to focus on each pair that I'm focusing on, that I'm trading, and just keep it to that pair. It makes things a lot simpler. I'm not overthinking things too much. You know, if the market's showing me a clear buy, then I'm going to take that buy. You know, I don't want to factor so many different things in because then you're just going to drive yourself crazy. Because at that point, you're trying really hard to win a trade. When there's only so much you can do to win a trade. You know, you can follow your strategy, you know, make sure you take the right setups, the high probable ones. That's as much as you can do. Trying to add more factors in, you're probably just going to skew your kind of percentages and your probability kind of streak, and it's just not a pleasant place to be. But yeah, AUSD, I'll take a look. What to trade now? It's completely up to you, Silas. I mean, I'm looking at a few pairs. USD CAD looks good, but I don't have any trades at the moment. But check out my Telegram channel because I do share my setups there. AK, can you please have a look at gold? I do think it's about to test the price of 1800. Then the price would be interesting to buy and push the market to the upside, but probably FOMC. So yeah, gold, like I said, I'm still bullish on gold. It's showing a lot of rejection, so I do think we can see some nice retracement. But I'm personally looking around the 1788 mark, 1789 mark for some longs. 1800 is corresponding to that high there. So yeah, we could roll over to there and then maybe push to the upside as well. but I would like to see price come a little bit deeper than that. So yeah, we could come to 1800, we could push bullish from there. That's definitely a possibility, but the setup I'm favoring is for price come a little bit deeper, 1788, 1790-ish, around this mark here. I'll be more than happy to look for any longs around that region. But yeah, for me, gold, I'm still pretty bullish on this one. There might be some temporary sells up there from that prior high, but I don't really fancy it. So yeah, gold, I agree. I do think some upsides. I do think we can probably see some short-term sells, but I prefer 1788 to go long. AUD, let me take a look now. Okay, so AUD still slowly creeping to the upside. Again, higher time frame structure is pretty bearish for this one. So at the moment, we've got kind of structures contradicting themselves. We've got 4H looking pretty bullish, whereas the daily and the higher time frames actually giving us consecutive lower highs. So in this scenario here, if you can get a break of structure, that's when the sells look very, very good, because then we get the 4H lining up with the higher time frames, and most likely we'll get a move right back down to these lows. But at the moment, I've got to respect this current structure here, which is pointing to the upside, and I'm still going to be looking at buys for USD as we push on until that structure happens, and then I'll change my mind and we can look for bigger sells. But yeah, at the moment, AUSD is still pretty bullish. Had a really nice test of this structure yesterday. News kicked in, big move to the upside, new highs. What next for AU? What next? I suppose you could probably see some retracement. Reason being, we've just seen some new highs. You can see every time we have seen some new highs, market consolidates, retraces, new highs, maybe consolidates and retraces potentially. In terms of the direction, it's still up, so I'll only really be favoring buying AUSD. I suppose a nice break and retest of that could have been a nice trade, something like that. Could be a nice little bounce there. We do have these higher lows here, 1, 2, potentially 3 around there. That will look very good, around 0.68100. But yeah, AUSD is kind of coming into an area where we could look to topple over and form that major lower high. So any buys, I would take. I wouldn't push too far. Coming back in some resistance around here as well, 0.69. So we are testing some levels where I do think we can retrace for AUSD. And we've had a pretty substantial pullback as well, where I do think we could probably see some higher time frame sellers step in. But yeah, the structure's still up. You can still see the higher lows are very prominent. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'll still be a big advocate of looking to go long. And this is where, would be a nice long, even back down here as well. Because it's kind of just keeping in the theme of price moving like this. You don't really want to be buying high. You don't really want to be selling low. You want to be selling high and buying low, really. So yeah, around these areas will look good for some longs. But yeah, at the moment, still favor more upside until structure breaks. And that's when I'll look for, a bigger reversal. And then maybe that big high time frame can kick in. Okay, so hopefully that made sense. AUD, okay, I'll take a look. Brain, no problem. 1800 would be interesting, which is perfectly synchronized with the 50% fib. Yeah, 1800 could work. 1800 could work, but for me, I would like to see price come a little bit deeper. Again, not saying that you shouldn't buy from 1800 in gold. It could definitely see a nice reaction, but I know I want to see a deeper retracement than that. Hey, Jose, welcome to the stream. Hope you are good. I'm doing well. Hope you are too. Any pairs, anything you're looking at, let us know in the chat. What about USD CAD? Yeah, just took a look at USD CAD. USD CAD, I'm still looking at buys for this one. Back down in this region here, beautiful level of support, nice confluence around there. If you do look at the old Fibonacci from the high to the low, coming to the 0.5, 0.618. So a lot of confluence around here for a buy to the upside. The only thing with USD CAD is that it is making consecutive lower highs, as you can see, and also higher lows. So it's kind of just squeezing in this kind of wedge pattern. So I don't know the true direction of USD CAD. It's not very clear for me. But in terms of a short-term buy, I do think we can snatch a decent amount of pips from around 1.35 to around 1.365 for USD CAD there. So that's kind of really what I'm looking at for USD CAD. It's not quite at the level yet, so I wouldn't look to buy just now, just to see price roll over one more time. if we can get a test of that level, nice spike into that, that will be very, very nice indeed. But yeah, USD CAD for me still looking at some short-term buys. How many Discord channels do you have? I'm following 3. Discord? Or do you mean Telegram, Elmi? Because I don't have a Discord channel. I do have a Telegram channel, which is the link. Yeah, I've only got one Telegram as well. Actually, no, I've got 2 Telegrams. I've got one Telegram, which has which is where I can only communicate. So it's only my post, and I've got a second Telegram, which is where people can talk as well. But yeah, I don't have 3 anything. So yeah, there's definitely some imposters there. Hey NH, welcome to the stream. Good evening from India. How are you doing? Steve O, can look at Bitcoin. Sure, we'll take a look at Bitcoin. I'll look at these both. Zone there, and thanks. Yeah, no problem, AK. I mean, again, we're all trying to just look for good places to buy and sell. That's all we're trying to do as traders. We're just trying to look for a good place to buy and sell. A certain place might work, some place might not work. We don't really know, as long as we got good confluence in that certain area. That's all we can kind of control at the end of the day. So as long as you got good confluence, it makes sense with structure. It's normally times it's a good area. But I always like deeper retracements because they just give better moves to the upside or to the downside in terms of risk to reward. So I always would prefer a deeper retracement. They don't always happen, but when they do, it's more beneficial. So 1800 could definitely get a bounce. Not saying it won't, but I prefer a little bit deeper. So yeah, keep an eye on both levels, to be fair, because if the 1800 doesn't hold, there's obviously a level further down that could give a nice bounce. I do have 2 Telegram channels. I'm pretty sure they're in the description of the video. Let me go double check quickly, because I've actually had someone message me that they actually got scammed not too long ago from one of my channels. Well, not one of my channels, but someone else using my identity for a channel, which is not good at all. So I actually do need to put like a post on my Telegram about the scam, because there's actually quite a lot of channels. I actually checked the other day. So yeah, I only have two Telegram accounts. One where I share my posts mainly, and where other people, and the second one's where other people can talk. So let me just check my description. So yeah, if you go to my description, there's 2 Telegram links. One says join my free Telegram, and the second one says join my free Telegram group. Those are just the two Telegrams I have. Any other than that is not me. So I do need to actually put a post about that, because they actually do have quite a few people on their Telegrams, which is not good at all. So yeah, only if you're going to join my Telegram, only use the link. Do not search my name. Only use the link. Don't manually search my name, because I'm pretty sure they're asking people to invest in something. I don't do any investment things, so yeah, that is not me. Okay, so where am I? Bitcoin. Okay, we'll take a look at Bitcoin. Moto from Madagascar. Yeah, BTC, we'll take a look. Morning Dev, how are you doing? Welcome to the stream. As Jake White. Okay, Frizzy, we'll take a look. Same Blood Media, hello. I am new. Welcome to the stream. Hope you're gonna have a great time here. I mean, I don't see why you wouldn't. But yeah, welcome to the stream, and that goes to anyone else as well who's new to the stream. My name is Miko. I'm a trader. What I do is stream my analysis, stream my trading. You'll see trades when I'm in the trade, and if I'm not in the trade, I'll just be discussing you guys' trades. But yeah, I just share my opinion. Obviously, you guys share your setups, share your trades, what you guys think. Obviously, learning from each other. Some other people are further in the journey than others. Some people are just straight out, fresh. Some other people have been in it for a couple of years, so a bit more experience on the stream as well. But yeah, just create a community where we can all learn together and meet other people as well. So if that sounds good, please be sure to drop a like and subscribe as well. But yeah, we'll take a look at Bitcoin. What's Bitcoin doing? So yeah, Bitcoin bit of a move to the upside. Obviously, with dollar weakness, we're going to see Bitcoin rise, gold rise, commodities rise. And yeah, Bitcoin bit of a move to the upside. Again, we've had a crazy move down. So this move to the upside is not anything spectacular. It's very, very small compared to this big move. And again, I'm still looking at moves to the upside for Bitcoin is purely retracement for another move back down again. So I'm still looking at the infamous 13k, 12k mark down here for Bitcoin. So I'm expecting more downside, but we may do what the market has kind of always done with Bitcoin and crypto in general. We always kind of rally first before falling, or we fall first before rising. You can see it happen multiple times, push to the upside, fall, push to the upside, fall, push to the upside, fall. So you could be seeing something like that happen again before another fall to the downside. So it kind of just fits into the overall theme of the market, impulse, correction, impulse, correction, impulse, correction, impulse, correction. And then naturally we'll be expecting an impulse, just staying in tune with these major lower highs. We'll be expecting another one to fall. So yeah, Bitcoin overall bias is still bearish, still looking at 13 to 12k, which is this zone down there. Let me just click the chart, which is that zone down there. So as for areas of interest for the sells, naturally being, this is definitely one, and we're coming into another one here-ish, which is around 18,600, 18,500, and then 2,500 up there. So this is where we could be seeing some nice sellers step back in for the next bearish swing. Same with this area here. So this is where I would suspect that lower high to form for Bitcoin, and we could probably see another push back down to 13k, 12k, around those regions. But on the lower time frames, things are looking pretty bullish. So your best bet, if you're on the 4H or below, is to look for those short-term buys. Just broken through these highs here, nice little retracement into that, catch some temporary buys to the upside, and then maybe some nice reversal signs here, reversal patterns to set it back down again. But yeah, Bitcoin at the moment still pretty bullish, and could probably see some more upside too. Okay, so I hope that made sense. As JPY, we'll take a look. CAD Yen. I'm doing well. Anish, yesterday was an awesome day. Made good pips with CAD JPY. Yes, we did see the JPY. I mean, literally, so many people were talking about JPY sales yesterday. It was crazy. But yeah, CAD Yen did plummet. USJPY did plummet. Some really nice moves there. CPI was definitely kind to a lot of people yesterday, and again, it was unkind to a lot of people, because for someone to make money, someone's got to lose money as well. So, for you to say, yeah, it was a good day, some people were saying it was a bad day yesterday. So, but yeah, it's obviously nice to be on the right side. I saw that too. Wasn't sure which to join. Yeah, so always just use the link. Use the link in the description. Don't try and search my name. But that reminds me, I do need to do a post about that. Euro USD, we'll take a look. So NCY, Euro USD, Aliens D, we'll take a look. Brain, no problem. Okay, oil, we'll take a look. Popcorn, no problem. Do you think these days may be time for reverse on DXY? Potentially. I mean, DXY has been falling for a few days now. We're coming to this monthly zone here, which is where we've been targeting for DXY. So if DXY is going to reverse, this would be an area I could see that happening, and even down here as well, which could mean actually a lot more downside for DXY. But I wouldn't say reversal, but I would say probably a bounce. A bounce looks good. I think things are still pretty bearish for the DXY. Even if we do see a big push to the upside, I think we'll probably just form a major lower high and come straight back down again, based on how things are looking, unless we completely rip to the upside. So yeah, we'll come into some strong support. I mean, we've recently seen some new lows, so it does look like it may be time for retracement for the DXY. I'm not sure about reversal, but retracement I can see. Reversal, a lot to happen for that to look likely. But let me start taking a look at these other pairs. So as the JPY, Okay, so NZJPY falling to the downside, looking pretty bearish. So NZJPY recently just taken out these highs. So, but this is a textbook range here. Textbook range. You know, we've got the lows of the range around here. We've got the highs of the range above here. And the market is just coming to the high of the range. So naturally, sells at these regions look pretty good, in my opinion here. So the fact that we've just seen some new highs, and it's kind of like our fake move, and now we're getting that momentum to the downside. Thank you so much to the King Idaho Cade for subscribing. I actually do have a video coming out about how to trade ranging markets and sideways markets, about focusing on a particular technical technique. So do keep an eye out for that. We'll be posting that probably on Friday. Yeah, so this one sideways is just about taking out the highs, and now we're seeing a lot of momentum to the downside, which is a good sign because we don't really want to see corrective behavior if price takes out a high. We want to see impulsive because that shows that we're more likely to reverse as well. So with this move here, it's just a bit more of a slightly riskier trade, but if you can get a pullback into this area, there's a good chance we could form a lower high and head lower. Again, I know we haven't really had any break of structures. You know, the market's still trending to the upside in the 4H at least. You can still see the higher highs and higher lows as we're pushing. But now that we've faked out the high and we know that the larger scale, the larger picture is sideways, this could just be a big fake out to grab liquidity for a bigger move to the downside, potentially back down to the low of the range. You know, that is definitely a big possibility. Obviously, we don't necessarily have to look for a move such that of that size. But we can definitely take advantage of some sells up at the highs of the range. So 87,400, keep an eye out around this area here. If you can see a retest of that, you know, come retesting that high there. I do think naturally there will be some nice sells. If I just change the color of that, make it a little bit more obvious. Yeah, something like that. So if you can get a test of that structure there, that will be looking very nice. Hey, thank you so much, AK. Much appreciated for the super chat. So yeah, if you can see a push into 87,400, that would be very, very nice indeed. Make the sales look pretty good. But yeah, much appreciated, AK. Love to see it, my man. Or woman, actually not sure of your gender actually by AK, but much appreciated. But yeah, hopefully that made sense there for NZJPY. The sales are looking pretty clear because we're kind of at the high of the range here, so you don't really want to be looking for buys. I know the 4H is bullish, but it's very, very corrective, and we just spiked through the highs, and we're at the high of the range. Sales is what you're going to be focusing on. If you break through the high of the range, yeah, sure, you can look to flip that bias, but sales are naturally the best bet here. Okay, so NZJPY, Euro USD, and AUD, and then I'll get onto oil. Move your screen to the other side is covering the name of the pairs. I do have what's it called? The watermark. Is the watermark not clear enough? Make it a little bit lighter. But yeah, I do have the watermark in the middle of the screen, and you can see it just above there as well. So yeah, I mean, is anyone else having issues seeing the pair? Okay, yeah, Euro USD and AUD and oil I'll get through, no problemo. S&P, sure thing, Oliver. We'll take a look at S&P, no problem, my friend. What is my favorite pair? I don't necessarily have a favorite pair. I mean, if I was to pick, it would probably be like Pound USD or Euro USD because they're typically the cleanest. And those are the pairs that are kind of back tested and kind of traded the most in my earlier days of trading. So naturally, I just feel a lot more comfortable trading Euro USD and Pound USD. But I don't really have necessarily a favorite pair. I kind of have like favorite setups, you know, favorite kind of, you know, setups that I like to trade. And I'm not really too bothered about which kind of the market it pops out on. I do favor the dollar pairs, the major pairs, because they're a little bit more cleaner. And they're obviously more traded, so they do move a little bit more cleaner than maybe like a CHF pair or like AUD. But if I was to pick a favorite pair, it would be Euro USD or Pound USD. Okay, so onto Euro USD, which I just said is one of my favorite pairs. Okay, so yeah, Euro USD still pushing to the upside. We were talking about price coming back to this area here, or at least I was yesterday anyway. So yeah, I'm looking for the buys in Euro. I'm looking for the buys around this area here. But unfortunately, we didn't see that happen. The market kind of just squeezed between the resistance here and the trend line, which we're also speaking about as well. And I said there's kind of 50-50. We could break to the downside and then tap that area and then fly, or just break out, and it's obviously broken out. But what do I expect next for Euro? What do I expect next? I mean, from Euro USD, the market's clearly overall still bearish here. You can see the major swings: low, lower, lower high, new low. So I'm expecting another lower high to form and us to do something like that for Euro long term. But at the moment, everything is pretty bullish. We've completely reversed this bearish trend here that we've been in for felt like ages. Now on a bullish trend. So now I'm only looking at buys for the foreseeable future for Euro USD until I start to see a strong break of structure. And yes, maybe that major low high could form for that bigger reversal, and that could obviously correspond for DXY as well. Yeah, right now Euro USD is definitely a bullish pair, so I'm only looking at buying this. We've got key levels here. We can look at the target on the left. We've got 1.075. There's a key high. Coming into this big wick there as well. That could be an area to target. This area here as well. Price support down the left and resistance. So there's multiple levels as we work our way up. We can look to target and trade from and take partials and manage trades. But all I'm doing with Euro USD is just focusing on this price action here and not trying to overcomplicate it. And this is still trending to the upside. So any down move that's within structure, I'm expecting high low to form, a nice push back up again. So Euro USD is pretty straightforward. If in an ideal world, I would say if I can get a down move like that, I'll be very, very happy to buy it back up again. But will we see that? Maybe not. We might see something like this, with these higher lows. Now that we've snapped to the upside, we might see something like this, retest that structure, and then get the buy to the upside. And that's kind of major area of value, 1.075 on the daily chart, which is this level there on the left. So yeah, buys look pretty good for Euro. If you don't get the buys here, it'd be lovely to get the buys down here. Yeah, Euro for me, I would only look to buy this market. So if that fails, I'll just look for buy deeper down. And of course, the risk reward will be much better down here as well. So even if that fails, the risk reward will compensate. What's the word? Compensate for the loss there. So yeah, for me, Euro USD, really clear buys. 1.05866 or 1.04. And yeah, 1.075, it looks like a good target as well. So yeah, I hope that made sense. Okay, oil and AUD will take a look. What about USD CAD? Haven't you asked that ages ago? And I looked at USD CAD. I mean, USD CAD, like I said, I'm looking for some short-term buys. I'm looking at some short-term buys for USD CAD. It's not quite at my area yet. Where is USD CAD? There we go. It's not quite at my area yet. I'm looking at buys down here for the move up. So nice confluence in this region. Fib level, trend line, key support. Looking for a buy to the upside, something like that, but it's not quite there yet. So USD CAD staying a bit patient, but that's what I'm looking at. AUD NZD, let me get onto that pair. I haven't actually looked at AUD NZD for a while. I haven't actually traded this for a while, to be fair. I actually don't actually look at this on the weekend. I look at kind of all major currencies, minor currencies, couple of exotics, commodities, crypto. I do look at a wide kind of range of markets over the weekend, but AUD NZD, I just start leaving out really. I just don't like it. It's very, very corrective, not a lot of pips about it. Not that it doesn't give opportunities, I just don't really like the pair. And I really trade so many markets that I don't necessarily need to look at it really. But yeah, AUD, so we're bouncing off a key kind of area here. We've been falling very, very hard to be honest actually. So it might be time for us to see some retracement. I reckon the buys are still maybe a little bit too aggressive. I don't know actually, it looks like a good reversal there. Stabbed it once, stabbed it twice, beautiful wick, taking out the highs there. It still is slightly aggressive because it is against all the momentum here, but a retest of that high could give you a nice little trade there, to the upside from 1.062, and I'll start looking to exit that trade coming into that prior low, because that's when we could see the bear step back in and a bigger move to the downside there. But yeah, AUD, I like the reversal. It looks like a very, very clean double bottom. 1 and 2, respecting the trend line, that's support. You know, breaking through that kind of neckline of the pattern there. Obvious key level to retest at 1.062. You know, you can probably get some nice buys into 1.074. What's the pips we're working with here? Again, 100 pips. It's not bad, to be fair, but yeah, it's just a very, very corrected pair. So yeah, the buys look okay there for agency D. But yeah, 1.075, clear target to look to exit trades, and actually could be some nice sells back down again too. Okay, so hopefully that made sense. Oil, I'll take a look at oil, and then I'll go into S&P 500 for Oliver. ADUSD looking bearish in my opinion. What do you think? I'm still pretty bullish on ADUSD. I'll go into that in a second. Gold, I'll take a look. Okay, a few requests for gold, so I'll take a look. Are you gonna trade live today? If I get an entry, yeah, I'll 100% trade live, but at the moment, nothing's looking like I'll probably get entry. Maybe USD CAD, I could probably get entry on that one, but we'll have to see. Again, I don't want to be entering too late as well. We've got the Fed interest rate at 7, so I don't really want to. I mean, I could probably trade to like 3, 4, 5. So yeah, I'll probably be looking at entries throughout the day. But yeah, 5 o'clock definitely is where I'll stop looking for trades if I haven't got one. And that'll be UK time. US 30, okay, I'll take a look. See, same ideas on Euro USD around 1.05, 800. Okay, yeah, I mean, yeah, Euro USD is clear buys anyway, so you know, no need to overcomplicate it. Price is still pretty bullish there, so yeah, just pullbacks into that level. Nice little buy there. Okay, so I'll start taking a look at oil because somebody requested that quite a while ago. Oil. Someone said oil, gold, AUSD, and that was one other pair. I'll take a look again, maybe US 30, but I'll take a look at oil for now. Okay, so oil looking bearish still. A bit of a pullback now on the daily chart, but overall still looking for the lower high to form. I mean, the market's still very, very consistent with these lower highs, so I wouldn't really look to overcomplicate things with oil. 71.22, we've got that prior low there. That's obviously a clear target. This target here is a monthly target, so that's kind of like an overall kind of direction we're slowly working our way towards into that area there. So it's 66.16, that's where we're working our way towards with oil. And we're getting a break and retest of that region there, which is at 76.21. So these are the two areas that I'm looking at for oil to roll over, which we're coming into now. You know, if you can start to see some rejections here, you know, nice double top there, nice shift of momentum, that could be a really nice entry candle, and also a push into 80 up there. So if this level doesn't hold, I'll still be looking for a test up there, some rejection up there, for a bigger move to the downside for oil. So for me, sales looking pretty good here. Just staying in tune with the higher time frames. We've got literally the monthly looking bearish, weekly, daily, 4H all looking bearish. So the sales are 100% your best bet right now. And a clear area of interest, we're looking at 76.40, and then we're looking at 80 up there. So that's where I'll be expecting oil to roll over. But yeah, I think sales your best bet. Buys not really looking good. Maybe a break and retest above that, but it doesn't really interest me, to be honest. You want to be trading with the larger momentum, which is still to the downside. So yeah, oil shorts look pretty good. So yeah, oil shorts. S&P 500, AUSD, and US 30. Okay, so S&P. That's US 30, S&P. Okay, so yeah, we were talking about this one yesterday. Big spike to the upside, as you can see with that wick. Obviously, if you look at all the indices, they kind of did something similar. Big wick to the upside, and by the end of the day, they pulled right back down again. So I was talking about this potential head and shoulders yesterday from this region here. So kind of got the left shoulder, head, and then the right shoulder. And I'm looking for price to kind of break through the neckline there and actually come back down into these lows. So yeah, for me, US 500 looks very, very good, very good indeed. Because we've got these consecutive lower highs there, 1, 2, 3, 4 head and shoulder pattern, snap through the neckline. All the probability is looking for me back down to that zone into 3,500. So yeah, shorts for US 500 from a big kind of swing perspective look pretty good. If we break through the neckline, that's where things really start to look very promising. So the break and retest of that low is what I'd keep an eye on. But we rejected that very, very aggressively. Big wick to the upside on the daily. For me, that's price just trying to rally, but it's failing to do so. So naturally, I'm expecting price to roll back over. So yeah, sells up here looks still pretty good for me. Again, you don't necessarily have to have your stop loss all the way above there. For me, this is just like a big fake out really. So your stop loss above here will make a lot of sense as well. If the market does end up taking a stop loss, then most likely it's just going to trend to the upside anyway. So yeah, stop loss above 45.4 looks good. Shorts down into that zone there. And then you can start to take profit, maybe manage to trade a little bit more closely. But really and truly, the break of this low here is really what I want to be seeing. Because once we break through that low, then as long as we don't break back above, so as long as it's not a fake out, we do have a very, very high chance we'll see US 500 come right back down into that 3,500 mark there. So yeah, S&P sales look good from where we are right now, back down to 39.20, break through 39.20, looking at 3,500 down there. So that's what I'm looking at for S&P. Okay, so S&P, hope that made sense. Gold and US 30, I'll take a look. What a beautiful drop on AZ. Yeah, that's me falling. It's funny because I always say the pair is so corrective. I don't like trading it, but then the past kind of few weeks, maybe couple months, it's just been falling and actually been a very, very good trend. Very, very good trend. Whereas some other pairs have not been that good. So it's kind of fooled me there a little bit. But yeah, it's normally corrective, but yeah, it was a very, very nice fall, I do have to admit, for AUSD. Okay, so gold, US 30. Okay, so gold, yeah, like I said, looking at longs for gold, looking at some buys from around the 1788 mark. We've got these consecutive high lows, so 1, 2, 3, looking at that 4, and then 5. Okay, so I'm looking at some buys from that region there. So if I can see a pull back into that level around 1788, nice confluence there. This is our higher low that ran through those highs, so nice pull back into that prior higher low. And then probably a buy back into either the wick high or just that level there around 1808 will look good. But for me, gold is still pushed to the upside, still higher highs and higher lows. So I'm only going to be looking for buys until some structure breaks. So yeah, there's not really much to it. A lot of these dollar pairs are looking pretty similar. The price action on gold, the price action on AUSD, the price action on Euro USD, price action on Pound USD, NZD USD even. All of these are pretty similar, and obviously you would expect them to be similar. Why? Because they are dollar pairs, and dollar is kind of like the main kind of factor on them. So I'll always be favoring dollar as the dominant factor here. And dollar is still looking pretty weak. It might be time for some retracement, and in fact that's what kind of we're looking for these pairs, to retrace, to go again. But yeah, for me, 1788 is looking pretty good for some buys there. And people talking about 1800 could give a nice retest. This structure here flipped as bullish, nice little retracement there. Could see a bounce to the upside. That is definitely a scenario, but I would like to see a bit more retracement than that. For gold, I'd like to see a bit more retracement than that for gold to buy it back up again. So hopefully that made sense. US 30, I'll go over that one as well. That's mean opportunity for a long-term trade. Which market was that, AK? Oh, you're talking about Agents D? S&P. Okay, I just looked at that one. If you didn't see it, just scroll back a little bit, or I'll quickly run over again if you haven't seen. How do you chart the market so clean? Again, I just focus on the areas of value really, because you don't need too much in the market. You know, for this example, just focus on the higher highs and higher lows. That gives you direction. You know, focus on key areas where the market is most likely going to find support to push higher or push lower, depending on the direction. You know, 1788 is a good area. We could do that. You know, these levels here, I probably wouldn't look at too much, because if we actually get there, we're actually breaking some structure first. So I'd get rid of those levels here. This level here is kind of just confluence of the matter. So I probably wouldn't look at that level too much, because I've already got the level mapped out around that area there. Obviously the trend line kind of giving a nice guide to price with the higher lows. The higher highs I can clearly see there, and obviously the highs there mapped out there too. So I don't really need too much other than that. Obviously looking for the pullback into that area, then the buys, and that's when I'll step into the market. Of course you can have more to this. You know, I do use Fibonacci as well, but you know, don't really need it to use it in this kind of scenario, because I already know, you know, that's a very deep enough level. The Fibonacci for me is just to make sure that I'm not trading too high up. So as you can see with the Fibonacci, I don't have a level past the 50. So obviously got the 0.5, 0.618, 0.786, and that's primarily where I'm looking for my sells. You know, always looking for the deeper retracements. Reason being, they just give more risk to reward, and less chance of them being a failed trade as well. Because if you think about it, you know, if you're trading higher up, there's more chance the market can move down more to go up again, just in terms of how the market moves. You know, the market can only move so much down until it actually breaks structure before it can actually continue going up again. So if you just trade lower down, there's a less chance you're going to have a failed trade that works, that eventually, you know, turns around, that works. You know, if I trade here and it fails, it's most likely because the market just actually wants to reverse instead. So you know, I don't have to enter the market twice or 3 times. You know, I can just take the trade. It fails, okay, it's probably because I got the direction completely wrong. So that's why I do like trading lower down as well. And obviously the risk reward is much better. Try and delete the arrows. So yeah, so as you can see with the fib 0.5, 0.786, so that's what I use that for. Moving average I sometimes use, but it's mainly just looking at key levels and higher lows. And then sometimes I have some structures on the left mapped out just in case if I'm targeting those areas. Yeah, I don't really need them too much because that's still pretty far away, and this level I can really see the market's running through that now. So yeah, just focus on the important things. That's what you need to know. You don't need to focus on 100 different things here. Just focus on the important things. Do you have a 12-month track record that is public? Everybody's a trader, but profits over 1 year is what matters. Yeah, actually, I don't have that, but I am going to be setting up an account that I'll be running from January, so you guys can have access to that, because I've recently just changed my accounts to a company account with IC Markets. So I've actually got a new fresh account that I've opened since actually December. So I'm gonna have that running on the side as well with my Telegram, which is where I post my trades. So I will be actually having that, so you guys can actually see kind of the profits, not the profits because I won't be showing the profits, but percentages anyway. You'll be seeing the percentages of how, you know, the Telegram account with the trades that I share there go month to month for the whole year. So I'll kind of do like a kind of a documentation on that. I might do like a YouTube series, to be fair, documenting the progress of that and the fluctuations of the different periods for the whole year. So I think that's like a cool idea. January 2023 to December 2023, kind of like document that and do like a YouTube series out of that. But yeah, I will be doing that coming in the start of the new year. Yeah, I just took a look at gold, so just scroll back like 30 seconds. Can we enter oil short now? I wouldn't advise that. I mean, I can't say don't enter it or enter it because, yeah, it's a part of your plan. It's a part of your plan. So, if you want to, if you have a trade strategy, then obviously enter it. But if you don't and you're just entering because you want to take a trade and you want to make some profits, then I would suggest do it on a demo account, because that way, there's no no money lost. Yeah, if you clearly just want to make money, then no, do not do it. Do it on a demo account, because then you can actually learn from it. But yeah, if you have a strategy, then yeah, feel free to enter, because I can't tell you when not to enter trades, because I could say, yeah, don't enter that trade and it works, or enter that trade and it doesn't work. So it's all about taking the numbers and take them out together. So I don't really have an answer for that, unless if it fits your plan, then yeah. If it doesn't, then no. No problem, Terry. Gold, yeah, just took a look at that one. AK, it would be interesting to wait for FOMC meeting before take a trade on the S&P, and better closing the day will tell you what to do. Yeah, it probably is better wait to after the Fed, because 100% the interest rates are going to have something to say. Again, they're going to have something to say about all the pairs that I'm trading on, because that's the funny thing. I could do all this analysis right now, and then let's say the interest rates happens and the market does the complete opposite thing. Tomorrow, when I come back on stream, I could be saying the exact opposite things. I could be saying the exact opposite things. I would say, okay, now I'm looking for dollar longs. Now I'm looking to short ADUSD. Now I'm looking to short NZDUSD, which is the exact opposite of what I'm saying right now. So things can change very, very quickly. And that's why, if I say, okay, I'm looking to buy pound USD, and then tomorrow you see me selling pound USD, it's not like, okay, I've just gone against my plan complete. It's because something's changed and something's happened that made me looking for the sell. So yeah, I mean, with the indices, with the dollar pairs, we've had that big impulse move to the upside. Maybe today we can actually go just fill that candle and have a huge candle closing up here. If that's the case, everything changes from the sells. Then we're looking for some corrections to actually push that to the upside, because we're actually breaking through a lot of structure if that's the case. So yeah, I think the smart move, definitely if you're looking for the major swing, is probably just to wait it out, see what happens after the news. If you're looking for the short-term trades, then yeah, you can get some short-term trades out and it doesn't really affect you later on. But yeah, I would say just wait for after news. If you're looking for a bigger swing, if you're on the short-term time frames, then you can have some fun. Buy to target 4500 or sell to target 3500. Oh, okay, so you're talking about US30 buy up there, 4500. Wow, that is pretty far. Wait, are you saying 45? Wait, are you talking about S&P? I mean, you're talking about US30 or a different pair, because it doesn't have as much zeros. You're talking about ADNZD? No, it can't be. Yeah, I'm not sure what market you're talking about. AK. USDJPY. Okay, we'll take a look at USDJPY. No problem. CAD yen waiting for a break. Okay, we'll take a look. No script, but you could be down 30% or 30% now. We have no idea. True, but I mean, you probably would know because of my trades on Telegram. You probably would know because you just see so many losers. Because the trades that I share on Telegram, you can see there's winners, there's break evens, there's losers. So you can tell how well I'm doing. You can tell if I'm in a losing streak. You can tell if the performance is not good. You can tell when it's doing good. So you can probably tell from the Telegram. But yeah, for that reason, I am going to be doing a documentation of the whole year from January 2023 to December 2023 on that. If Fed has a dovish view and release 50 base points, that would be bullish for gold. SP 500 US30 pound USD. If they don't release, that would be the inverse. Okay, well, I mean, again, I'm not too clued up, so I have no idea what it would be, to be fair. But I'm just gonna be focused on the technicals, really. That's all I'll be doing, because that's what I back tested. And if the market changes direction, then I'll change direction with it. So yeah, I'm just going to be seeing what happens after the news. I mean, I'm still looking to buy USD CAD as long as it respects the structure. So if I get into a trade, I get into a trade. We'll see what happens with this one. But I'm going to be looking to buy USD CAD. I don't understand why someone would be interested if you were 30% up or down on your account. Yeah, I mean, yeah, to be fair, yeah, at the end of the day, it doesn't really affect them, to be fair, if I'm 30% down or 30% up. Because obviously it's my account, so, you know, I'm the only person that's going to be worried about that. But I don't know, I feel like it's nice to know, especially if you're watching me stream as well, you know, to know, okay, Miko's going through a good period or Miko's going through a bad period, because obviously there's been times through the year which have gone through a bad period, times that have gone through a good period as well, so it does fluctuate. But again, you know, drawdown fluctuates. I could be down, you know, 5, 6, 7%. You know, someone who just comes on the stream and sees, okay, he's down 5, 6, 7%. You know, while I watch his stream, I'm on to the next trader. Someone could see him up, you know, 10, 7, whatever percent, and be, oh, this guy's great, and just watch his content. So there will be people who be, you know, drawn by that and taken away from that as well. But at the end of the day, the most important thing is, you know, applying a strategy and applying the technicals and seeing through the drawdown, seeing through the losing streaks and the winning streaks all together. So there'll be times when I'm down, there'll be times when I'm up, but the important thing is, you know, the overall consistency, which is kind of why it's probably a good idea to get that kind of series, which is the whole year in general, which I can film in a video rather than, you know, just people just looking at, okay, yeah, pretty good week this week, but then last week it was poor. So yeah, I understand much, but a lot of people would disagree, to be fair. How old I am? I'm 23. I turned 23 in September. The 4,500, 3,500 was S&P. Okay, so you're just leaving out a zero there. Oh, no, you're not. My bad. Okay, I was looking at US 30. Okay, so yeah, 35 or 45. Okay, coming back to those highs there. So yeah, it could be. Just, yeah, it depends which way we break out. Obviously, I'm favoring the downside at the moment. But if you start breaking through some structure, you know, I'll be more than happy to change that bias. But yeah, technicals say down, so I'm favoring down right now, back down to 35. But yeah, if we break structure, I mean, there's not much really stopping us coming back to those highs there at 47. So that could still definitely be in the cards. How would you sum up your style of trading? I'll say just confluence trading. Really, I think I've seen people call it that, but really, to be fair, I'm just looking for, you know, areas of value, support, resistance, trend lines, market structure. I'm just following that on the 4H time frame, and I suppose it's called confluence trading because, I mean, I'm using the Fibonacci, trend line, support, resistance, candlesticks. So I'm kind of piling things in my favor before taking a trade. So it's not like I'm taking, okay, it's this type of pattern I'm just specifically trading. It's like, okay, I've got this, and I've got this, and I've got this, and I've got this. Okay, boom, that's a good trade. Let me take it. So, yeah, I think it's just confluence trading, really. And there isn't necessarily a name, really, for it. But I feel like confluence trading kind of sums it up. So, yeah, that's kind of like my style. But it's very, very textbook price action. You know, there's not too much fancy stuff with it. I mean, a lot of people have been in my stream for quite a while now, so they probably see kind of what my kind of style is. Good afternoon, Ashton. Welcome to the stream. How are you? Are you a scalper? No, I'm not a scalper. I am an intra-week swing trader. I think saying that I hold my trades for like an average 2 to 3 days probably sums up my type of trading. But yeah, I've definitely missed out some pairs. Or have I? Okay, yeah, AUSD. I did say I was going to take a look at that one. I'll get onto that one. AUSD. US 30. Did I take a look at US 30? I can't remember if I did. I mean, I know I have done, but I think I did. Afternoon, it's 3:45 a.m. 3:45 a.m. You're talking about your time? It's 11:46 here a.m. London time. Why don't I check volume? Any specific reason? I've never checked volume before. I've never really checked volume before in my trading. I've just never checked it before really. So that's literally the reason. Like there's so many ways to trade the market, so many different technical tools, indicators, whatnot, strategies to trade the market. So because someone doesn't look at this, someone doesn't look at that, someone uses that, someone uses that. So there's so many different things you could incorporate and not incorporate in your trading. I think majority of the reason why people don't use stuff is just because they've never really used it before or never really seen it through to use it correctly. Because 9 times out of 10, any kind of indicator or technical tool you look at does work if you apply it correctly and see out the numbers. It does work. Even if it has like a 51% win rate, you put a 1 to 1.5 or 1 to 2 risk to reward on that. That's comfortably profitable after 100 trades. So yeah, they do all work, and I'm pretty sure volume probably adds a good element to people's trading. But I've never actually looked at it, never really studied it before. Never applied it to my trading, so that's the reason why I don't use it in my trading, because I just don't know enough about it to use it. Maybe in the future I might go deep dive into it and study it, but I've just never used it in my trading, so I just don't look at volume at all. Not to say it doesn't work. If you've used volume and it's looking good for you, then keep at it. Just because I don't use it doesn't mean it doesn't work. What time is FMC? 7 p.m. UK time. It mostly is that time. Let me just go double check so I don't send you some false information here. Okay, so today's Wednesday. Yep, 7. So 7 p.m. UK time. Interest rate, Fed interest rate decision. So that's when the fireworks are due, which is in 7 hours and 11 minutes from now. So we've got a bit of time actually. You've got a bit of time. Again, if you're on the lower time frames, you can actually have a perfectly normal trading day. Perfectly normal trading day. Be done for the day and then just watch the fireworks in the evening or whatever time that is for you guys. But it's still quite a while away, 7 hours away. I'm good. Yourself? I'm good, Ashton. I'm good. It's 1:46 here. Wait, where are you, Ashton? 1:46, so that's 2 hours ahead of me. Do you know complex pullback? By complex pullback, do you just mean like a bull flag, bear flag? So instead of that, it's that. If that's what you mean by a complex pullback. Or do you mean something else? Are you 22 or 23? I'm 23, Oliver. US oil. Okay, we'll take a look. No problem. Jargon, happy to help. If you guys are enjoying the channel, please be sure to subscribe and drop a like. It does really help out the channel as well. How's USD CAD looking? A little bit sideways. If I can stab down, that'd be very, very nice. But yeah, it's a little bit sideways. Unfortunately, maybe it's kind of just waiting for the news. To be fair, could just be doing that a bit sideways, and then the news could start things off. Okay, oil, I'll take a look. Hey, Vedatanic, welcome to the stream. Phoenix, hey, how are you doing? Welcome to the stream. Hope you are good. Compass pullback is while the price don't come directly after the impulsive move. It does multiple moves as retracement. Okay, so yeah, similar to what I said then. Yeah, okay, similar to what I said. So yeah, sometimes it could do that. I mean, this is kind of like a complex pullback, isn't it? Like 1, 2, 3. I mean, it might actually be a reversal. But yeah, I do look at complex pullbacks. I just call them bull flag and bear flag, really. But yeah, I mean, they happen kind of all the time, really. Sometimes it is a steep pullback and the market flies. Sometimes, it goes once and then twice and then it flies as well. So, yeah, I mean, for me, it's all about the location, really. I'm not trying to go too specific into the pattern, really. Like for me, for example, you got this kind of area here. The market comes back and kind of retests that prior high there. So I would have looked to bought that or something. So I don't really try and go like, okay, it's a complex pullback, so I'm going to do this. So I don't really necessarily have a strategy around that. I'm always looking at just areas of value to buy and sell from. If it comes there directly or it comes there in 2 moves, that's up to price. Did you give us a free signal today? Nope, not in my Telegram. I'm aware that there's multiple Telegrams of my name, so I would say make sure you're in my Telegram by using the link. If you search my name up, you probably will get a bunch of other Telegrams which are looking for investments. So, and someone's recently has been scammed by it. So, yeah, make sure you use the link and don't just search my name. There's 2 links in the description. But yeah, I'll take a look at oil. So oil. Okay, so 76.33. Okay, so the market's coming back into the resistance here. So naturally, sells look good. Again, someone's asking if they can play some sells here. Yes, but I'd wait for a lot more rejection before selling. And again, make sure it's in line with what you're looking for, not just trying to search for an opportunity, especially in a market that you don't really trade. If you don't really trade oil, I would suggest just go straight into it. So yeah, it is coming to a nice little level, 76.20. Could see some nice sells there for a move to the downside, and also 80 up there as well. Looks good for some sells. So I do think something like this looks good for a move to the downside for oil. I'm still overall bearish on the pair, so I will not be entertaining buys as of yet. So something like that looks good for oil. If I go to the daily chart, you can see the market is still heavily trending to the downside. Key support here we could be looking to attack first. So I do think there's still some more mileage to the downside for oil. So yeah, it's retesting a very key level. Keep an eye for some shorts. Again, this one may be waiting for FMC to get on its bike and start moving again. Thank you so much, QG, for subscribing. Thank you so much. Again, guys, if you're enjoying the channel, please be sure to like and subscribe. It does really help out the channel. But yeah, so oil as well, the market's coming into that level. Sales do look pretty good, even if you do push slightly higher up as well. 79.74 looks pretty good as well. So a push into that level, 71.22. But yeah, 67, 66 looks good for overall sales. But yeah, you want to be focusing on that prior low, not pushing it too much further, because there's a chance price could come in and actually come straight back against you into your entry price. So want to be making sure you are taking profit in the necessary areas, because you will be experiencing a lot of times where price does come back into your entry price, which I've experienced quite a lot. So it's good to take profit and take some partials just to make sure you're banking percentages. Okay, so thoughts on SMC as a style? Yeah, I mean, SMC it's just another way to trade the market. Of course, I've never actually really studied it. I've never really looked at it in depth for my personal trading, so I don't really know too much about it. I know they focus a lot on structure, and so do I to extent, maybe not in the depth maybe they do. But I do look at structure quite a lot, so that's kind of a fundamental part of my trading, and it's obviously a fundamental part of their trading. Maybe they have a few different views about it, but yeah, I mean, trade the market is trade the market. You've got so many different styles, so many different ways. It doesn't really matter which way you choose, really, as long as you can understand it and apply it with ease. So that's the only thing I have to say. You want to be able to apply strategy with ease, because it's all about routine and just consistency. And if you have to scratch your head every time you're trying to read the market, then it's probably not the best way for you at that moment. Probably better off learning a much simpler strategy where you can apply, get some consistency, and then maybe working on the SMC on the side or something like that. But if you're scratching your head every time looking at the charts, there's more efficient ways to look at the chart. Maybe maybe not as profitable, but still profitable and very efficient. And that's what we want. We want efficiency when we're trading. So yeah, S&P is just SMC. I said S&P. SMC is just another way to trade the market. And that's all the thoughts I have on it, really, because I don't really know too much on the ins and outs of the method. So I'm not the best person. Not the best person to ask on the ins and outs of that. No problem, Phoenix. Are you a fund trader? No, I trade my own capital. I got short in USJPY. I was supposed to look at that one, wasn't I? USJPY all the way up there. Okay, so yeah, I suppose you're selling. I mean, for me, sales look pretty good with this one. Maybe not at the current price, but in terms of the direction, it's very, very good. Back down to 132. This looks very, very good. Yeah, the news will have it say. We could either bleed to the downside or maybe spike up again. But for me, USJPY looks very, very good for some sales. So what's this level? 136. Keep an eye on that around that level. Some sales look pretty good there. I do think we can head lower. Back down to 134, 132. And yeah, see some more downside. I would assume you're maybe selling from around this mark there. But yeah, USJPY for me, sales look pretty good. Trading is quite simple if you know what you're doing. In my opinion, all you need is a good strategy, patience, and discipline, and of course, good risk reward. Yeah, I mean that is literally trading in a nutshell, really. That is trading in a nutshell. Yeah, all you do need is a strategy, that you believe in as well. You have confidence in. Obviously, a decent risk reward doesn't have to be anything crazy. 1 to 2, 1 to 3 will do the trick. As long as you win half your trades, you're profitable. It's the real kind of task with trading is just being consistent and disciplined. Because when you go for a losing streak, you kind of doubt yourself and you kind of want to switch things up and think, okay, there's something better to do. There's something better strategy I need to go and learn or something like that. But the important thing is actually just seeing that kind of original strategy through. Only look to change a strategy when the results are performing good. Because if you change the strategy every time the results are performing bad, you always be trading strategy forever. So if you're going to change strategy, trade it when the results are good and see what you think then. 123 people are watching this live, but there's only 3 likes. There's only 3 likes. No, wait, I must be wrong. Maybe refresh the YouTube page. Where did my strategy come from? It came from basically just looking around, really, looking at other people trading, watching a lot of videos, watching other people online, back testing myself, trading myself. So yeah, it didn't really come from a specific place, but the tools that I'm using, support resistance, you can see a bunch of people use that, trend lines, market structure, very, very simple technical tools, which if you apply them correctly, work very, very well. So yeah, I mean, it just came from just looking at other people, really, looking at other people. 61 likes. That probably makes a little bit more sense. Eurocad, okay, wow, I actually come up to 12. I didn't realize it's already 12. Okay, so yeah, Eurocad check. So okay, I'll take a look at Eurocad and I'll look to end it there. In a buy on USJPY at 134.869. Okay, I go Eurocad and USJPY to finish off the stream. I will be live again tomorrow as well, guys, and we do have Fed interest rates for pound and euro as well, so that will be interesting. How do you handle risk management? Risk management is pretty simple, to be fair. It's not too complicated. Actually, I do have a video on that about risk management, so please do go and check that out. Go on my Forex education playlist, scroll through that, or just type my name and then risk management strategy. It probably will come up on YouTube. Risk management, all I want to be focusing on is the risk per trade. how much risk I'm willing to lose per month, per week as well, and obviously trade quantity as well. So, say like you got a rule for like, I don't know, 3 trades a week or 1 trade a day. So that way you're managing risk because you're stopping yourself, not taking a bunch of trades, over trading and losing a lot of percentage at the same time. So you want to have a max amount of trades you can take in a day, in a week, and a month. Obviously, max drawdown for that month, and max percentage you're risking per trade, and obviously focus on your risk to reward as well. I would suggest 2 to 3R is a great place to start. You can increase that later on if you want to, once you become a little bit more confident. But 2-3R is a great place to start. Not too far, not too close, just a good place. And you take 3 losses, you can wipe them out of 1 trade. So yeah, 2 to 3R, risk per trade, and trade quantity, and max drawdown for the week and the month. And yeah, EuroCAD and USDJPY, we'll take a look now. So EuroCAD, like I said, for this one, is still flying to the upside. So I'm not really trying to do much with EuroCAD really. Can you check in a sell on EuroCAD 144.396? Yeah, I would really look for sells here. I know we're smacking our head on that resistance, but it's just the market is just trending to the upside. You're selling a very, very bullish market. So, what's the probability of us respecting these highs and suddenly rolling over? It's pretty slim. Unless you're looking for just a few pips, then yeah, you can probably get away with it. There's a support level here, maybe a push down to that level, and then look to exit the trade, because you can see the market's consistently finding higher lows. So there's a good chance market will come down, higher low, and then rally again. So sells here, yeah, it's good level, but it's got to be short term. If you're looking for something like that, you're asking a lot of the market. Not that it won't happen, but probability is very, very against you at that point. So yes, sells up there, nice place to sell, but it's got to be short term. Most likely going to form a higher low and rally through. So, keep an eye on 1.4399, even this area here, 1.44261, because the market could rally right back to your entry price. And finally, USDJPY. Again, for me, sells look good for this one, looking at 132 there. Nice retest of that level would be very, very nice indeed. And just look at the market coming back into those lows, and maybe 132, which is that daily level on the left. So yeah, USDJPY for me, very, very bearish still. Lower highs galore. Still expecting more downside and maybe some new lows as well. But yeah, so that has come to the end of the stream, guys. I hope you have enjoyed the stream. If you have, please be sure to leave a like and subscribe if you haven't done already. Check out the Telegram down below as well if you want to see my updates, my posts. If I do get into a trade, I'll let you guys know on the Telegram. And if you are looking for a broker, I do have my affiliate link to IC Markets. Feel free to go and check them out if you want to. Roger Bank strategy, again, not really too clued up on it. Obviously, Roger Bank's pretty successful, so it's got to be doing something correctly. So yeah, I mean, again, strategy to strategy. As long as it works for you, then it's a good strategy and you understand it as well. How long have I been trading? Trading for about 5.5 years now, so quite some time. No problem much. Thank you so much for coming to the stream and moderating for me as well. London, I'm based in London. Yeah, see you later, AK. Thank you so much, SLFX 2020. No problem, guys. Thank you so much for coming onto the stream. Like I said, if I do get it set up, I'll let you guys know in the Telegram. Other than that, have a fantastic day. Stay safe in the markets later. We do have the interest rates, and obviously we're going to have some fireworks tomorrow as well. So do be careful. But yeah, guys, I will be live again tomorrow, so I'll see you all on Thursday. But nonetheless, have a great day trading, and I'll catch you all tomorrow.